Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Liz and this is Let's Get Lizzical, where we do everything card making. And today we are on the struggle bus for the Holiday Card Hijinks 3D card. I realized once I got to this point that I wasn't actually filming because my computer screen timed out and I was like, that should not be doing that. So you kind of missed me ink blending the background and explaining the panels to make this card. We're going to do a 3D card without dies. I know I have a lot of 3D box card dies in my Etsy shop, but I wanted to show you guys how to do it without those dies as well, just like as an option if you don't have a cutting machine or dies for those particular types of cards. So while I'm coloring, I'll just play a bit of music because I do spend a bit of time on this. And then once that's done, I do kind of go through the panels a bit again and show you the background and what colors I use and everything. So I'll explain that after. Okay, so now that the coloring's done, I'll show you what I did with the back panels. So I'm going to write down the dimensions here. So once it's done, if you want to screenshot that, you can. I try doing it in pencil. This pencil's too light. And I'll do it in marker in a minute. And so you want 2 panels, 4 1/4 by 3.5 inches for the background. You want 3 that are 4 by 1 1/4 or 1 for the inserts. And then 1 that's 8 by 1 1/4 for the outer box that will like contain those inserts. So like I said, 1 or 1 1/4. I think next time I'll do 1. I did 1 1/4 this time, which gives a nice height, but I would probably like it to be a little less. And then for scoring on the smaller panels that are 4 by 1 1/4, you just want to score at 1/4 inch from each end. And as you can see here, I kind of snipped the corners just so that they taper a little bit. It just gives it a bit of a cleaner look and make sure that none of those corners are sticking out. And For the larger panel, you want to score it at 1/4 and 2 1/4 from each end. That way you'll have 2-inch sides and a 3.5-inch panel at the front. And then I'm just spacing them a 1/2 inch apart on the side panel, and then folding it and then gluing it to the other side. This is assembling pretty much just like any of my other box cards, except for my box cards usually have the sides attached to the back panel, and then we just attach the front and the inserts. So this time it's a little bit different. I do struggle a little bit. I probably could have trimmed a little bit off the back panel for this because it wasn't quite fitting, but I decided to make it work instead. We just, you know, play with it, and it eventually folded down flat with no issue. And then once I got it to do that, I am going to glue this back panel on. I'll glue the writing on towards the inside just so that you don't see it, because I did decide to use the panel to write the numbers on. And I'll try to put all those dimensions and score lines down in the description just so that you guys have reference for that. Sorry, that was my phone going off. I forget to put it on silent when I'm doing voiceovers. I will try to remember that going forward. But yeah, so I've glued the back. I'm just trimming it a little bit because it didn't quite line up. Then I'm going to re-stamp my images. They didn't stamp perfectly the first time, which was fine because, as you guys know, if you've been here for any length of time, I like to double stamp my images. I always stamp them, color them, and then stamp them again. Sometimes things shift and it doesn't work out and you have to color it again. It's okay. It's not a big deal. It's just paper. Hopefully you're not in a pinch for time when that happens. But I usually do it because I like the crisp black lines, and I find that sometimes alcohol markers will dull those lines and kind of bleed out the ink a little bit when you're coloring. So I like to go over them again when I'm done. I also found that this tree was a little bit flimsy, especially in that center area where it gets a little narrow towards the top. So I just cut a really thin piece of cardstock and glued it as a support system on the back. You can somewhat see it in like 2 small areas, but it's not that big of a deal because if it has the white border around it, it kind of blends in. And now I'm just placing my pieces. And this is like the fun part. This I would try to do before you assemble, just because it is kind of hard to place them unless you want to use repositionable tape and just like temporarily put it in place and then glue them down after once you're happy. You could do it that way as well. But yeah, that's pretty much our card for today, guys. Sorry you missed some of the beginning, but I have done some of these techniques before in multiple videos, and you'll definitely see it again. And again, I'll put those dimensions in the description down below in case you missed them. And if you'd like to join my Christmas challenge at the 25th of every month, I am posting a holiday themed card with the prompts that I have up on my Instagram. So go follow me on Instagram for that. It's at the top of my grid, so you'll be able to see it. So thanks again for joining me for today, guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, comment down below, subscribe if you haven't, so you don't miss any future content. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook for more content. And until next time, thanks guys. Bye.